New details about the 9-year-old who passed away at the Astroworld concert show that he was a Denton ISD student.
Plus, how the FDA is deciding whether it will recommend a third Pfizer dose to all adults.
And for those of you that have been waiting years to watch the New Year's Eve ball drop in New York, wait no more.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. I'm Jack Springer.
And I'm Gabby Carden. Libraries have long since been sources of information, but do some books cross the line? Members of the group Moms for Liberty believe so. The group has been searching school libraries looking for books that they deem explicit and demand these books be removed. One such book, titled Genderqueer, found at Timber Creek High School, featured 2 men engaged in sexual activity. In fact, almost every book on their list is related to LGBTQ or race issues. At the Keller ISD school board meeting on Monday, some parents accused the group of exclusively targeting LGBTQ and race books, but the group refuted the claim, saying they only want to target sexually explicit content. The book isn't closed on this case yet, as lawmakers are now tasked with finding the future of these libraries' catalogs.
On Monday, the Denton Public Library canceled a children's story time. The story time was scheduled for Saturday. Rainbow Storytime, the name of the program, occurs 3 times a year and is scheduled alongside days honoring marginalized groups. Due to a misprint, people mistakenly believed that books about transgender children would be read at this Saturday's event. The library received complaints and the event was canceled due to safety concerns for staff and patrons. More information has come forward on the 9-year-old Ezra Blunt, who was the youngest victim of the Astroworld tragedy. Ezra, who attended school and lived in Denton, went to the concert with his father. He was crushed by the crowd after falling off his father's shoulders. He would later pass away at the Texas Children's Hospital in Houston. Ezra's mother has filed a civil suit in Harris County, naming Live Nation, Harris County Sports, Convention Corp., Contemporary Service Corp., Scoremore Holdings LLC, and Travis Scott himself.
Now, I'm not going to lie, on my way to the studio today it was a bit windy. My hair kind of suffered.
Yeah, well, there's been a few storms recently. Maybe another one's brewing. Sydney's at the Union today. What can we expect, Sydney?
Guys, we aren't seeing any storms in the forecast, but we are having very windy conditions. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions in Denton. Right now, we are sitting at 76 degrees. It does feel a little bit chillier at 74 due to our wind speeds being very high at 23 miles per hour. Now, looking into tonight's conditions, around 6 p.m., our temperatures will drop to 68, and it will feel a little bit cooler at 64, with our wind speeds lower at 21 miles per hour. Now, looking at tomorrow's conditions, our temperatures again will be lower than today. Our temperature will be 58, and it will feel about the same at 57, with lower wind speeds at 12 miles per hour. That is it for our first look. Make sure to stay with us for our full weather forecast later in the show. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Sydney. On Thursday, a man on death row in Oklahoma is scheduled to be executed. However, there was a recommendation from the Pardon and Parole Board to commute his sentence to life in prison. The recommendation may change the governor's mind. Reporter Peyton has the story.
We got was that actually the governor is in a basement somewhere investing time with our Heavenly Father in this matter relating to Julius Jones. So with that, we wouldn't want to even pull him away from that.
The Jones family and supporters say they understand how difficult of a decision it is for the governor.
This decision is going to affect the state of Oklahoma and all over our nation. And so this is one man at this particular time. Julius' life is down to 2 days in the hand of one man.
Jones was convicted of killing Paul Howell more than 20 years ago. The Howell family had the opportunity to meet with the governor to tell their story. And while the Jones family would have liked to meet with Stitt, they instead are going to pray with him.
Our plan is to be in close proximity with the governor. As he prays, we pray. As he goes, we go.
Jones's sister Antoinette is still in pain waiting.
I can say that I'm hurt because my brother is currently on death watch.
But the news that Stitt is using prayer to make his decision has also brought hope.
It was very uplifting. It was very encouraging. I know I feel better when I get ready to walk down these steps than I felt coming up these steps.
On Wednesday, supporters plan to gather outside the governor's office again. Back in August, Officer Robert Vicosa was fired from the Baltimore County, Maryland police force. Now he is wanted for the abduction of his 2 girls, ages 6 and 7. They were kidnapped on Tuesday from a home in New York County and are in extreme danger. If anyone sees Vicosa, it is recommended that they do not approach and instead contact authorities. Up next, scared of getting the COVID-19 vaccine because of needles? There might be something to help with that with a pill coming soon.
And how you'll be seeing Beto O'Rourke at the 2022 governor ballot.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong.
Pfizer is seeking FDA emergency use authorization for its experimental COVID-19 antiviral pill. It will be called Paxlovid. In a clinical trial, the new pill showed a significant amount of success with an 89% reduction in hospitalization risks, as well as a decrease in patient deaths with mild to moderate symptoms of coronavirus. Although there are a few things to consider. These results are from an interim analysis completed before the clinical trial was expected to end. And in order for the pill to be effective, it has to be administered with an older antiviral pill within the first 3 days of COVID symptoms.
Pfizer is pushing to make their COVID booster shot available to all adults. The company's request to change emergency use authorization is being considered by the FDA, according to one FDA director. The issue is top priority. One spokesperson from the CDC has said that a meeting will take place on Friday to discuss expanding booster eligibility. The next step would need the CDC director to sign off on the plan. If the FDA approves the change, however, many adults are already eligible, and anyone over the age of 65 or at high risk of infection can receive the booster 6 months after their last shot. Several states and cities with rising COVID cases are already giving adults access to booster shots. The COVID vaccine may not be the only thing you need as the weather changes and other sicknesses start to spread. The wind this week is not helping with my allergies.
Seasonal allergies are especially mean with windy weather. But let's go to weather anchor Cindy Deshawn to tell us all about what we can expect.
Jack, we still are seeing very warm temperatures for it being the middle of November. But let's go ahead and break it down in our full weather forecast. Looking at our current conditions across North Texas, we can see that our temperatures are ranging in the high 70s. Our warmest point is going to be in the middle of Fort Worth at 78, and Stephenville and McKinney are coming in at a close second at around 77 degrees. Now, looking at our current conditions across the state, we have temperatures all over the place. In the upper regions of the state, we have Amarillo at 51, and we have Oklahoma City up at 57. Now in Austin and in Houston, our temperatures are going to be in the low 80s. Now taking a look at our 7-day forecast. Today is looking pretty nice with our high being at 79 degrees. Thursday and Friday, our temperatures will drop with the lowest point being tomorrow at 31 degrees. This weekend, our temperatures will warm back up and our sun will be out. On Monday and Tuesday, our temperatures will be cooler with a high of 65. Our weather, again, is still all over the place, so just make sure that you guys are keeping up with your weather app periodically so you know what to look out for. That is it for our full weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sydney. Governor Greg Abbott has filed a petition in the U.S. Court of Appeals to remove the vaccine mandate imposed by the Labor Regulation Department, OSHA. The mandate would require companies with over 100 employees to ensure that they are vaccinated or go through weekly testing. Abbott is asking the court to enforce his executive order and ban the mandate in Texas. Quote, "This court should vacate OSHA's mandate, which runs afoul of the statute from which it draws its power, and likely violates the constitutional structure that safeguards our collective liberty," end quote. The court has temporarily put the mandate on hold after multiple Republican politicians and figureheads spoke out against it.
The race for governor is officially underway. The first Democrat to announce his run for governor is a well-known figure in Texas, Beto O'Rourke. He made the announcement earlier this week and began campaigning right away. He was in San Antonio, taking part in a thank you event for essential workers. O'Rourke is taking on Greg Abbott, who is running for his third consecutive term. However, Abbott may have some competition within his own party. Several well-known Republicans have already announced that they intend to take on Abbott in the primary. When we come back, make sure you're clearing out your calendar for the return of the NYC New Year's Eve celebration.
And I have a special look on the UPC and the events they plan for UNT students.
Texas, where our pride
Monday night, sadly, UNT men's basketball saw their first loss of the season. Buffalo came out on top after scoring a strong second half, winning the game 69-66. It was a hard-fought battle in which many UNT players played well. Junior guard Tyler Perry was a star for the Mean Green, leading the team with 18 points and 4 steals while also having 5 assists. The team is hoping to bounce back tomorrow night when they take on UT Arlington Mavericks here in Denton at the Super Pit. And the Mavs may have won Monday night, but the win took a toll on the team. Late in the fourth quarter, Luka Doncic limped off the court with an ankle and knee injury that will sideline him for the game tonight against the Phoenix Suns. He could potentially miss some more time, but the good news is that tests showed no damage to his knee or ankle, and it isn't expected to be serious. Jalen Brunson, who is currently having his best season ever, is expected to start in Luka's place, but every Mavs fan knows that there is no replacing Luka. And while the Mavs are experiencing some changes in their lineup, the iconic Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, the home of the Lakers and Clippers, amongst others, for the past 2 decades, will have a new name. In what is believed to be the most expensive naming rights deal in sports history, the Staples Center will be a thing of the past, as the Crypto.com Arena will be unveiled on Christmas Day as the Lakers take on the Brooklyn Nets in the annual NBA Christmas Showcase. According to many reports, the deal is expected to be around $700 million. Many fans have already come out against the new name due to the amount of history that was made in the Staples Center throughout the years, including 2 NBA championships and 2 Stanley Cups. The center is also home to the basketball competition for the 2028 Summer Olympics. That's all I have for sports. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, James. From sold out shows in Los Angeles, New York, and San Francisco, one of Western art's most notable figures is coming back to life here in Dallas, Texas.
ntTV's Kayla Holt has this look at one way you can celebrate the season in a beautiful way.
Artist Vincent van Gogh, or more commonly known as Van Gogh, created many of the world's most recognized paintings. Recently, his artwork has been reimagined, taking form of a more dynamic display. Located in downtown Dallas, the immersive Vincent van Gogh exhibit is not your average art gallery. Instead, it's a digital experience which showcases animated versions of Van Gogh's artwork projected in a 360-degree view. Visitors are able to immerse themselves within his works of art almost quite literally. But why Van Gogh, and why now? Venue manager of Lighthouse Art Space, Dana Volkmar, explains why she feels the show has been such a success.
He was able to give us some of the most beautiful work that any artist has ever done, because he does give that human element to art. He does provide like a connection for people, especially nowadays with the amount of chaos and craziness in the world. We all feel that deep, deep sadness sometimes. We all feel it in a way that we may feel like everything is collapsing and caving in on us. And I think he really felt that deeply.
The visuals at the exhibit are what Dana likes to call an artception, art within art. The show also features a soundtrack composed by Luca Lombardi that was crafted to complement the meaning and emotion behind Van Gogh's work. Due to popular demand, the immersive Van Gogh exhibit is now extended through January 3rd of 2022. You can purchase tickets from dallasvangogh.com. Reporting for ntTV News, I'm Kayla Holt.
Once the Van Gogh exhibit ends, there will be another immersive exhibit to take its place. So stay tuned for the reveal of the next featured artist.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
And join us again tonight here on North Texas Television.